Afternoon. So Dustin and I have had the best luck with the Pentastar V6 engine. It is, in my experience, a very picky piece of equipment.
Picky, huh?
Yeah, picky. We are going to pressure test one of two cylinder heads that we just got from a customer.
Another shop.
Another shop, yeah. And they're having us deck it and put it back together, so...
Crack checking it. Crack checking. These are pretty known to be cracked.
From the factory. So he's setting it up in this jig, we're going to dunk it, and he's going to pressurize it. Holding.
Looks like 25 pounds.
Almost 30. Oh yeah, there's this guy right here.
Oh, good. Well, that's pretty much the gist of it.
So it holds pressure underwater, no bubbles, means all the passages are reasonably intact.
So,
Seems all right?
I'll show you what it looks like with bubbles.
So that's all it takes is just a little bit of... Okay, yeah.
You can see it's not very much.
Yep.
Which you can see the bubbles. That would indicate like a crack, but obviously I loosened it.
Yep. Cool. All right, next part of that, we did pressure testing in the tank, and we got vacuum testing on the rottler.
Yeah, so we're going to check the seal of the valve. Obviously it has to go the whole vacuum or you're going to be losing compression. As you can see on here, we have air hooked up to our vacuum gauge, which we're going to turn that on. We're going to test it. That's as much vacuum as I can pull. So, as you can see, I'm going to pull that off. I'll put it back on. So that's pretty healthy. Let's do the next cylinder. Pretty good. Next one. Let's flip it over. So we know all the intake are good. So this one we need a little bit bigger.
Large opening for that port.
Hopefully this is big enough. It's going to be really close. You can see that's a really big hole. It's gonna take a bit. There's all 3 cylinders in one. I'd say that's pretty good. So, vacuum check passed, crack check is passed. Next we're gonna do is blow this off. We're gonna get it in the mill. And
So with geometry, you need at least 3 points to make a plane, right? So that's why you use these cylinders to plane off of, because it gives you 1 point directly on the top of the cylinder.
You mean these? The wrist pins?
Yeah.
I just use these as spacer though. Just because these are perfectly flat to each other, versus having like little shims and stuff in there. I will go around with some paper or some actual 1 to 2,000 shims and shim accordingly. So basically I'm going to take 4 points and I'm going to get it as close as I can to flat. That's basically what we're doing. So obviously this is a wind-filled fixture, so it's really fast. Most machine shops would take probably 30 minutes to an hour to jig this up and square it up. This will probably be within 2 to 5 minutes. Close we really are. Let me turn the machine on. So I keep mine about 50 thousandths from the tip of the cutter when I'm squaring it up, so when I go across, as you can see, I'm about 1 thou low on this side. Square right there. Just go across. So as you can see on that side, I'm still pretty square, within 1/1000th of an inch so far. So I'm pretty dead on. So now we're gonna pretty much see what she'll do if I keep it squared up with the jig. As you can see.
Sorry, I got the dog instead. Got that flamingo on the ropes, bud.
On the jig itself. So obviously I want to hold this and not have it kick out of here. So. Square. So what I'm going to do. I'm going to set it up about 7 thousandths off the deck, and I'm going to slowly come down until I touch it. Looked like it cleaned up in one pass.
So just take a thou off the top of it, and it did.
Yeah, it was about 2,000s.
I mean, considering our previous
Wow.
history with these, that's not bad.
Considering how fast it did it. Really good. Did you beat it, Clark?